coming back to school with me. We could have done it all so easily.
Hi, my name is Craig Thompson Wood. Welcome back to the classroom. I'm actually back in today to just finish setting up my classroom, and I thought I would take this opportunity to respond to one of the requests from a viewer, Jake Plays Minecraft, who had asked me to make a video about the game Apples to Apples. So this one's for you, Jake Plays Minecraft. So in keeping with the report card theme, looking at this, we can see the game Apples to Apples actually does quite well overall with a, I'd say like a B+ to A- average. So Apples to Apples, one of the great things about it is it can play up to 10 players, which is great because again, any games you're going to want to implement in the classroom, the more people you can implement, the better, simply because you have to buy less copies of it, or you can just work with larger groups in that thing. So there's a lot of great reasons to want high numbers of players. The learning I gave a B+, and this was after some consideration because there's a lot that goes on in this game that is really good for classroom settings and things. So I will show more about that when I get into the game proper. But like I said, I think there's a lot of good learning that goes on in this game. Fun? Yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's amusing. Sometimes it just gets ridiculous and silly, but that can also be fun. So it's a B. It's fun. So time is an A+ for me because you can play. There's really no length of time that you have to play with this game. You can play for a few minutes. You can play for an hour. Whatever time suits you and the group and whatever it is that you're doing. This can be really adaptable to that. Also, it's so quick and easy to set up. It's just a case of even grabbing a green card, giving people a bunch of red cards, and off you go. And it's really that simple, that fast. Cost, I've seen this before for sale at Walmart for like $5, if I'm remembering correctly. Certainly now it's a game that some people think that there are better versions, there's better games, there's games which are similar, so Apples to Apples has fallen a little bit on the back burner for some people, a little by the wayside, but I think if you can find copies of this, you can probably find it quite cheap, and I would recommend getting it. It's not expensive. Okay, so let's take a look at this game and how it's played. Now it should be noted that what I have here with Apples to Apples is what would be called the adult Apples to Apples. Now I don't mean adult because it has an adult theme. I just mean adult because some of the words and things might be a bit big. There is Apples to Apples, Junior Apples to Apples for kids. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now. But there is versions with some younger words. Because what's going to happen is each round, one person is going to be a judge. And the judge is going to take a green apple card, and the green apple card gives them a word, funny. And what I like about this is that it gives the word funny with 3 synonyms for that word: amusing, comic, odd. So, and they will read those to the other people so people can get an idea of what kind of thing they're thinking about, what they're looking for. So, like I say, funny is not a different one, but like if you go to virtuous, so expecting grade 4 or 5 students to know what virtuous is might be a bit of a stretch. So virtuous might not, but then worthy, righteous, and chaste, even those words, the worthy, sure, they might know righteous, but chaste, they're probably going to think, playing tag or something. But so when you're going with the word, so if you have funny, okay, now everybody else at the table is going to have 5 of these red apple cards. And these red apple cards give a subject or thing or something which they then have to think, which would the judge think is funny? So would the judge think that Darth Vader is funny? At my parents' house is funny? Duct tape is funny? Going to grandma's is funny? Or being in a coma is funny? So this requires the person who is playing the red card to have some knowledge of the person who is judging. So they may go for something odd and weird just to try to get a laugh. Sometimes they go for the least funny thing just to try to get a laugh out of the person. And they say, haha, that's funny, I'll choose that one. So maybe they would say, like, Darth Vader is funny because, Darth Vader's not funny. So that could work in that case. Now, true life story, we were playing with a group of my friends, and the word evil came up. And I thought I had this one for sure. I had Adolf Hitler. I had the Adolf Hitler card, and I played it down for evil. Well, then, as the cards were revealed, one other player had Saddam Hussein. I had Adolf Hitler, and then another friend, some other people had some other things I don't remember, but one friend had put falling down. So I thought falling down, and I realized what was going to happen, because the friend who was judging, he had had a fall a year or two prior, and he had been left in a wheelchair due to his fall. So, as he went through the cards, he was thinking about it, and he was explaining his thinking. He said, well, Saddam Hussein is an evil guy. Adolf Hitler, yeah, he's an evil guy too. Do I want to make a judgment as to which one of these guys is more evil? But, for me personally, falling down left me in a wheelchair, so I'm going to pick falling down for evil. So you can see, depending on the person that you're picking for, and you really have to kind of know them. So that's how the game is played. And so whoever, so if I put Darth Vader and the person says, yeah, I think Darth Vader is the funniest, I get to keep the green card, and that's like a point for me, if you're interested in keeping points. I mean, usually people do, and it's just, it's lighthearted, it's not a big deal, win or lose. It's just, there's a lot of laughter and a lot of things that come out of this game, makes it a lot of fun. What I would recommend for this is, as you're going through this, to really help to increase the critical thinking, is have the person who is, talk about the words, talk about what they mean, maybe use them in sentences. And as the person who is picking, have them justify their thinking for each of the cards. Have them explain what they mean. Have them explain, well, I don't think Darth Vader is funny because, I don't think being in a coma is funny because, but going to grandma's, now that's hilarious because, so have them, that can help to improve their language skills as well as their critical thinking. Now, one other one I want to show you here was Apples to Apples Big Picture. So in Big Picture Apples to Apples, you still require a knowledge of English. Don't think because you're doing with things, because you're still having the same things where you're having a green card with a word, which is then, provided with 3 synonyms for it. So flawless, heavy, prickly, sturdy, depressing. Okay, so we'll go with depressing. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now everybody's always going to have 5 cards. So after every round when you play a card, you're going to get another card back. So you always have 5. So now I'm looking for depressing. So do I think Benjamin Franklin is depressing? Looks like Cousin Id from the Addams Family. A guy with giant foam hands. Submerged crocodile, or a kid with ice cream cones. Now he doesn't look very happy, and so if we think that maybe he has ice cream cones on because he's hiding some sort of mutation, maybe that's why he's depressed. So he doesn't look happy. So that, out of those things I have here, I don't know, between these two, for me, which one is depressing? Yeah, I'd probably go with that guy just because he looks unhappy. And so that would be my choice for that one. And then other players would choose theirs too. So in this one, instead of choosing words to go with this one uses pictures. This one for a classroom, I don't know that I would like so much, simply because I would want to encourage more of the word usage, the reading, the rationalization of words and understanding what they mean and such. I just think that there would be more learning that happens with the regular Apples to Apples. But like I said, you can find it for kids. Now, one other one that I want to show you today was a game called Snake Oil. Now, snake oil is like what I meant when I said that some people say that there are games which are similar to Apples, but better. This one plays 3 to 10 players, and it's very similar to Apples. One person's going to choose a role, so you're going to shuffle up the things, and one person, like before, is the judge. But now this judge is a hunter. Okay, so now as a hunter, the other players now have to try to sell something to that hunter. So they, again, have these cards here. And they now have to combine 2 of these things and try to sell it to the hunter. So in this one, it's not secret. Like in Apples to Apples would be secret. You don't know who is giving what card. But in this one, each person is trying to sell. So I don't really have a lot here that would go well with a hunter. But let's see. So I would combine 2. It's not great, but I've got a soap ball. So and I explain to the hunter why I think this hunter would need a soap ball. Well, because when you're out there hunting, you get hot, you get sweaty, you're in the forest, you're in the wilderness, you're getting all kinds of dirt all over you, and getting infected can be really bad for you because it's getting infected, it's sickness. So having a soap ball with you makes it that you can keep this thing with you, and you can also play soccer with it because it's a big soap ball. So when you're not hunting, when you're taking a break from all that hunting, you can kick the ball around, and when you're done kicking the ball around, you can have a shower and wash yourself off with your soap ball. And that would be my pitch. Then the next person would choose theirs, and maybe they have, I'm just going to choose 2 randomly here, moon fluid. So moon fluid is provides like it's liquid because it's a fluid, but it provides like moonlight, so it's not so bright that's going to scare away the animals, but it provides some light that the hunter can now see animals even in darkness. So you see how this works, and this one, it's like I say, like Apples to Apples, but this one I like a little bit more because it's you have to be more creative and think about how you're combining these things and how you're going to sell it to that person, especially in a classroom setting, and especially where you're trying to promote language skills, critical thinking. This one really does a great job of just being able to explain yourself, and it's part of the game to explain yourself, so really promotes that critical thinking very strongly. Well, that's going to be it for today's episode. I want to thank you very much for coming on out today, and thank you to Jake Plays Minecraft for the suggestion on Apples to Apples, a great game for the classroom. I would recommend it to anybody. So if any other viewers have any more ideas for videos you might like to see, whether it be a topic or a game, please let me know in the comment section below. Love to hear from the viewers, and I'm always happy to do what I can to meet your requests. And so that will be it. I will also be doing another video in the very near future for the summer holidays, as this is my last official week of summer holidays. So look for that too on this coming weekend. So that's it for today. Thanks very much, and until I see you again, this is Craig Thompson Wood saying thank you for coming to the classroom.
Are you coming back to school?